Hello. Yeah. So basically, a quick introduction about myself. Jamil. An AI engineer with a lot of skills in vibe coding, building AI automations for businesses, and I've worked with tons of businesses and I have and partnership also. So, um, this video is going to be a very short one, just to help people who are just starting out to actually understand and help them save more API costs, because now you have several tools out there promising you one thing or the other, but for we personally who have been actually been building solutions, there are ways you can actually leverage other tools without having to go for expensive API tools, expensive scrapers, and a lot more of these tools. Like most people are using Firecrawl and a lot of this stuff where basically you can make an automation that detects if it's an HTML, then just use an ordinary HTTP request to scrape. And if JavaScript, you can decide to use Firecrawl or other API to actually scrape. This will initially save you API costs long term for you and your clients when building AI solutions. So I'm going to be showing you how to actually make use of Google search to actually find LinkedIn URL, Facebook URL, Facebook URL, Twitter URL, just whatever information you want to find, you want to actually use in your automation, whatever automation, whatever um results you want to use, whatever information you want to use within your automation. Maybe you have a source, I basically work with recruitment. So basically they have a lot of candidates, their name and their position. So instead of me to actually start making an external API call through API to go find out their LinkedIn, you can make a Google search that will basically search it on Google and just basically give you the results inside your automation, within your automation. And this just makes for easy um API cost. You actually save money on the API cost, and it's actually scalable, where I can easily go to my SAP API and basically within my SAP API I can have all this going. They offer over 250 searches per month, whereas using external tools incur much more and nothing free. I have to actually do pay for it and do a lot of this stuff, setting up and a lot of this stuff with a lot of complexity on actually setting up the customization. So what a lot of things you don't want to actually bore yourself with. So I'll be showing you a quick one example of this, what automation does. You can leverage it, just me showing you an overview of what I've been using for some of the businesses I've worked with. You can basically um take this out and use this separately within your automation. But basically, it just show you what can be done without having to depend on external API calls and so on. So basically, let me just run this through. You basically see what it does. So hello, I see. Just basically telling me please provide first name, last name, and position you want me to search for on LinkedIn. So I just provide my name, Jamil Salih, AI specialist, and I send that in. And basically what it does is just use that inquiry in Google, and you should see it gets some results. Now you can see this, it found out my URL, my LinkedIn URL. Let me just open this up. It found out my LinkedIn URL, was able to detect, okay, yeah, this is highly confidence, um this is the person URL and the search method. I'm going to show you guys how I did all this. I was able to actually make all this work. And you can basically see this is my LinkedIn URL. This is my LinkedIn page. It's going to take me to my actual LinkedIn. You can see this. So this is just basically what you can actually make use without me having to use external API call like API and so on. So I'm not just going to explain how basically how this works. So how this works is that instead of you having to make an API call to maybe Apify to all these several other tools, actually leveraging the power of Google. Just you have to actually for engineers, AI specialists, AI engineers just coming into the AI space. One thing I always say is that you should actually understand how the internet works. When you understand how the internet works, I assure you can build much more complex solutions while minimizing the external tool calls you have to make outside your expensive tools you have to actually use within your workflow and within your automation. When you understand how the internet works, so you can basically automate some of those stuff without actually using some of those expensive tools. So basically, this is what this does. I'm very very familiar with Google Docs. I don't know if you are familiar with Google Docs. What Google Docs basically mean? Let me just open this up for you. Just search it out. Google Docs. So Google Docs is just an advanced way of doing Google search. Google Docs Go at Google hacking is a technique that utilizes advanced search operators to uncover information on internet that may not be readily available through internet standard queries. So it's just something as easy as that. It's not something when you understand how the internet works, you might have come across this. But basically, this is just how I did the automation works. I'm very familiar with using Google Docs. Now I can come in here and do sites. If you want to search on facebook.com. I can search let me search carpenters, engineers. Okay, so I just put this in. I can see a lot of this Capitals Union. You can see a lot of these Facebook queries just with one single search URL. Not basically in search URL. I'm just able to understand how the internet works, how the Google resources pull information, and able to just craft a query that basically just pull out all this information. You can see a lot of this. Now you can start scraping your lead using some of these techniques also. Want to search, you can just Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok. You can use these same techniques. Just Google Docs, just at Google hacking is sure it is legal as long as you don't pull out you don't go in depth in pulling out some of those information using other search queries. So you come into your SAP API, you can easily set up your SAP API, log into your Google account and just copy your API key, copy it, you come into your SAP and you can come into your credential type and just search for SAP. You can just search for SAP and you can see this, click on this, don't add your credential. I already have my credential added. You don't add your credential, come to here, just put in your API key and click on save and that should be added instantly. Nothing for just going to close this. So basically how this worked was that I provided my name, my last name and the position, and basically it went ahead using Google exactly the same thing I did there. So we're going to see what exactly happened. Let me actually open this up. And now you can see what it went ahead to search. This was what the AI agent searched out. I'm just going to copy this and open it also on Google. Search Google for, and you see this actually gets me the same result. My Google result put out. You can see this. Only one was returned. You can see, and this is exactly my LinkedIn also. This is just my LinkedIn page. That is just my LinkedIn page. So basically that is how it works. You have to actually, instead of actually using external API tools, external API calls, setting up a lot of this stuff, what you can actually do is you can actually build up a query with your AI agents, and that's exactly what AI agents are good for. Tell it this is, you will see the first name, you will see the last name, use that in building up a query in this exact format, and just pass that query to your Google search tool, which will actually just pull those information out for you, and that is exactly how it works. So I'm going to go into this real quick. I'm going to show you how this works and some of the workflow I basically utilize it on. So now these AI agents are coming here. This is just basically my prompts, my system prompts. You are a specialized Google says so. This automation will be provided. The prompt will also be provided in the YouTube at the end of this video. You'll see it you'll see it on this video. So basically this is how this works. You can see this. I just did UI specialized, gave it the instruction on how to actually build the query. Your only task is to construct a precise Google Doc search query using the provided data, execute it, and return the first valid profile URL. You can see this. I'm just telling the AI this is what information I'm going to be receiving. This is exactly what you're going to do, and these are how you are going to present your results. So it's something very interesting, but very easy also. Instruction: construct one search query in the following format: sites, LinkedIn, for every profile, LinkedIn profile, it always starts with www. Your country, Australia.au, Nigeria.nj, .linkedin.com/in/. It always follows a particular format. Now on quite level, so you also see the domain actually comes in first, then what we call parts. In the parts of different part of the maybe the website just keep on being attached on the domain. So that is exactly what this does. Also, it searches any site that it searches LinkedIn.com. What this search site query does that. What this site is a Google Doc query. What it does is just that you just want to search only this particular site. It doesn't accept results from any other site. It only pulls results from one particular site, which is LinkedIn.com. And now it constructs using the first name and the last name and the position also. So this, whatever your input to be, whatever information provided to the AI always executes the search query in this format. You can have much more dynamic search query, but this is enough to actually get 80% or 70% accuracy in getting LinkedIn URL. And actually just getting the LinkedIn URL, you can try to actually process that later with the scraper to scrape the information from the URL. But it just saves you instead of using two API call, you actually use SerpAPI to get the URL. Now you just need to pass the URL to maybe Apify that will actually just use that URL to actually scrape the URL. You are not basically just now using one core 1 2 to actually get the URL, and another two to actually scrape the URL, which is extra double the cost when using Apify or other software like that. So this is just how this works. You give it your name. You can see my input, Jamie Sally AI specialist, and what it does is it constructs the it constructs the let me just show you this. It constructs the query. You can see this was the search query. It's sent to SerpAPI. This was also searched on SerpAPI. But basically saying site linkedin.com, Jamil, Salih, my first name, my last name, and my position AI specialist. And basically you can see a lot of information were returned. These are just organic data. You're familiar with how SerpAPI work, but this was exactly returned exactly what was if me doing it manually. So these are ways you can actually automate some of those manual tasks using Google and a lot of these combining search queries without having to use external API calls and a lot of external tools. Now I just did my name, the LinkedIn site, the LinkedIn. I'm making sure I'm searching all LinkedIn profiles, and now I'm seeing AI specialists. Now you can basically see this. It returned this was, you can see the search query, the domain, and you can see some of the words for, you can see my LinkedIn title, Jam Salio, the link, the redirect link, and a lot of this stuff. So this is just how a lot of this stuff work. I'm going to show you how I basically set up my SerpAPI now. I'm going to your SerpAPI. They have a documentation already on how to do Google Search API, how to use the Google Search API. You can make it much more complex, use location, but that you don't basically need all of that if you want to make something as simple as this. You can go in here and try to play with things yourself, but basically you don't need all these are just optional queries for you if you want to actually do something much more in depth. So now this is basically what this does. I send in this particular, this is Q query. Turn on your query parameters, connect your API to your tool, call to get, these are just the two description I set, something very simple. Call to get LinkedIn URL of your user profile and your query Q, and description I just told the AI search query, the number, like number of results you want returned. I'm basically just putting it at 5. I don't want too much. I know since my query is very specified, I should be getting them in the first 3 results will be returned, and that is just all. Nothing too complex. The search query and number you want, number of results you want returned, and that is just exactly what happened. I did it manually, I got the same result. If you can do it manually and get the same result, then you can now you can automate the process also. One thing I always say for people just getting in, don't get too focused on the tools. Actually try to find a way, when it comes to the AI space, it's still expanding. A lot of people are actually a lot of new tools are coming out every day. People are actually integrating a lot of AI into their tools and so on, becoming expensive. Several tools, but now with something as similar as this, you know how the internet works, you know how the Google Drive work, how the path parameter work, how ID work, how all these IDs work. For each file on your Google Drive, you have each one assigned to a particular ID and so on. Once you're able to actually understand how each of these web connects together, you can actually automate some of those tasks without having to make external API call. Now I can make an HTTP, a web scraper that scrapes if it's an HTML, and if it errors, it uses Firecrawl as a fallback to scrape the website. And these are ways you can actually utilize all these and actually getting much more information and actually saving on API costs. And that will be all for today. And we'll be back more for more sessions like this. But basically, I'm basically showing you the tips and tricks you can use as a beginner just to actually get yourself going. Just actually overburning on different API tools, different API calls, different software. Why seem able to put a lot of demo in your portfolio and actually get clients from to actually come in from seeing your work on your portfolio without having to pay too much. So this doesn't take a lot. I just have my Google Gemini. You as students can get that for free. And anything can use the free version just to actually start playing with things and actually simplify things. You can your SerpAPI, your part 250 slashes, can play with these, play with it. There are several things you can also make with it. You can see they have several API, they have video API, Google Maps API, Google Local API, Google News, Google Shopping, Google Patents. A lot of this can be actually be done, and instead of up to 250 searches to actually play with a lot of this. So that'll be all for today, and hopefully we come again very soon to actually show you how others work. And this does not only work for LinkedIn. You can combine this with Facebook, as I showed you, with Twitter, with TikTok, with Instagram, and such. You can even do this to actually extract lead. You make your AI agent search for lead, you return the first 100, and you just pass that into your advice scraper. You just scrape that to get their email, and you have 100 leads at the palm of your hand within seconds already. So that'll be all for today, and looking forward to so if you have any particular thing you want to actually see, or anything else you want to actually feel I could make another video on just actually find a way around API call, cost and so on, kindly drop it in the comment section. Thank you.